Lichen, like the ones you see on this rock before me here, are known as a pioneer species. They are the first organisms to grow upon rock slabs that have broken off of landslides, upon trees that are just starting as saplings growing up, reaching towards the sky. Lichen exist on a multiple variety of surfaces. They exist on rocks, on plants. They even exist underground in soils as a type of crust living in the desert, and they help provide nutrients and nitrogen into the soils of desert ecosystems and environments. They even help retain moisture or water, allowing a lot of the sage bushes in the hills behind me to grow out here. Lichen are a symbiotic relationship between fungus, cyanobacteria, or algae. So algae and fungus, right? They exist in this kind of beautiful. Algae utilizes photosynthesis to gain energy and produces different carbohydrates as a byproduct, and the fungus can use these to grow. So these beautiful splotches of lichen that you see arise from this symbiotic relationship between the two of them. Now, lichen don't have roots per se, but what they do have are microscopic filaments that they utilize to help attach to extremely rough surfaces, right? You'll find them growing in the mountains of the Himalayas, where the temperatures are always below freezing. They're exposed to 100-mile-per-hour winds, and they're just such rugged and durable organisms. In fact, they might be some of the first life to ever arise on our planet, among the first few, and some of the oldest living organisms on our planet. So what's fascinating about lichen, as they grow, they emit a chemical. This different chemical and process that they utilize while growing, and they secrete this chemical, actually erodes and breaks down the rocks that they grow on. As a result, lichen, over 7% of the world is covered in lichen. And as a result, they are accountable for a lot of the erosion on our planet. Now, so they are literally some of the slowest growing organisms and longest growing organisms, but because of that, they exist for millennia. They exist for such long periods of time that, just like water and rain and ice on our planet over millions of years shape the landscape we have, lichen play a direct role in shaping our landscapes and contributing to the erosion. Now, what's really crazy is rocks usually have tons of different minerals as well as elements that get trapped inside them while they're forming. So as these lichen break down the rocks into smaller and smaller pieces, it can create abundant soils, which plants, where they normally wouldn't be able to grow, they normally wouldn't be able to survive in this environment, the lichen have directly created new, fresh soils for plants to be able to grow in extremely hostile environments where they normally wouldn't have been able to grow because there was no soil. So they directly increase the amount of soil on our planet, but as those rocks break down and eventually wear down into the ocean, they go to the bottom of the seafloor, and plate tectonics will subduct and bring that rock back down into the earth, where it will then mix with the mantle and plumes, and it will directly, the more of these elements and minerals that mix into the mantle increases the rate at which volcanoes erupt. Now that means more volcanic eruptions means more land mass on our planet, more available land. So even though lichens directly break down land and increase the amount of erosion, they are also responsible for the production of more land. Thanks to that rock that they break down, those volcanic eruptions are more common because of lichen. Fascinating. So the next time you see some lichen, take a minute to think about just how big of a role that they play in our world. Thanks for watching.